Florida Governor Rick Scott is urging communities to pray for survivors following the mass destruction caused by Hurricane Michael along the state's coast. The third most powerful hurricane ever to hit the US mainland tore rows of seaside homes from their foundations and roofs from schools in near record force winds, leaving neighbourhoods in ruins. Michael has claimed 6 lives, but Mr Scott fears that toll will rise as many residents chose not to evacuate. In a moment, we'll hear from CNN's Natasha Chen in the panhandle town of Panama City. But first, here's Bridget Burke.
Ground zero. Aerial pictures of Florida's coastline show what authorities have described as unimaginable destruction in the wake of Hurricane Michael, which saw houses decimated, trees felled and roads broken up. Michael made landfall here as a Category 4, packing winds of almost 250 kilometres an hour. With more than 800,000 homes and businesses still without power in Florida, Alabama and Georgia early Thursday, residents are being warned it may not be reconnected for weeks, as fallen power lines mean some communities cannot be reached. Surveying the area from a helicopter, Florida Governor Rick Scott said he feared the death toll would rise, as many had chosen to stay home and ride out the storm.
We toured Bristol, Chipley, St. George Island, Mexico Beach, and Panama City Beach and Panama City. And what you see at Chipley and Bristol is it sort of looks like there was tornadoes. So you just see spots where everything was down, and you see it's like a tornado went through. Second, then if you go to St. George Island, and I was very concerned about that because when I was down there, I was down Monday and Tuesday trying to get everybody to evacuate. He told me there's 50 plus people they were staying, and so you're just scared to death that what happened to them.
On the ground, residents of the sleepy panhandle town of Mexico Beach surveyed the tsunami-like damage left by the wall of seawater Michael had pushed inland. Boats were ripped from their moorings and homes closest to the water were lost, leaving only their foundations. A few streets inland, around half the homes were reduced to piles of wood. Elizabeth Hanson and her daughter Emily, who had lived in Mexico Beach for nearly 20 years, said their neighbourhood was now unrecognisable.
It's pretty devastating. Like, everybody we know lost their house. Everybody. And our jobs.
And did you guys evacuate?
No, we stayed. We stayed in our home.
The family said many friends had lost their homes.
My personal friend lost her house. It's actually at the very end. Her house is completely gone. And my friend that I work for, that's her house. It's pretty much destroyed all the way up into the 2nd floor. And then we have a person right there that we know, that we're very close with. Their house is completely gone.
Michael is the 3rd most powerful hurricane ever to hit the US mainland. It weakened overnight to a tropical storm and is pushing northeast, bringing drenching rains to Georgia and the Carolinas, which are still recovering from Hurricane Florence last month. For Checkpoint, Bridget Burke.